On January 16, 2011, a local sports journalist, Jim Moyes, published an article titled, "When He Got the Chance to Compete, Few Could Match North Muskegon's Sam Hughes." I was floored by the information presented in the article. Jim shared that my grandfather was the best athlete he had ever seen, because Sam was the 1958 Class B state champion in the high jump and second place in the open 400. Jim went on to share that though my grandfather was known as a track standout, he noticed him playing basketball during lunch and dominating his classmates in his bare feet. Jim had a speech class with my grandfather, so he asked him, "Why didn't you try out for the basketball team?" My grandfather went on to tell him he didn't have a car, and the family didn't have a car to get him back and forth. The daily walk for my grandfather was 4 miles to school. I actually Googled it. It was 4 miles. Technology is great. It's 4 miles. I looked it up. But Jim informed the basketball coach about my grandfather's talents. So the coach went and seen him dominating and gave him a chance to say, join the team. So they worked as teammates to get him back and forth as well as the coach. But what if my grandfather had the opportunity I had to play sports? He could have been Dr. Sam Hughes. My doctoral research is on first-generation low-income students experiencing survival guilt when they attend college, because that's how I felt. I felt bad coming here, leaving my family to get more. Dr. King was trying to even the playing field because he understood poverty cripples people. It makes you feel as if you're less than or you don't deserve anything else. In January of 2018, I lived in Beckley, West Virginia, and I served as the Dean of Career, Technical, and Community Education at New River Community and Technical College. I had been in Beckley for about 3 months, living alone, finishing up my doctorate degree. At the time, I had just started hanging out with this absolutely gorgeous woman. And she was from Beckley, so she was telling me all the history. We were outside of my apartment in the middle of our third date when the unthinkable happened. As we were standing there having a conversation in a parking lot, we hear someone from the apartment above us yell. I grabbed her hand and I told her to look at me. Don't look up and don't look back. Without them getting the reaction that they were seeking, they eventually gave up. At the time, I was shocked, furious, embarrassed, and truthfully hurt. We went to my apartment and we discussed what had happened, and when Allison left, I began to process it even more. Why us? Why me? Why her? What did we do? And then it dawned on me. It wasn't about me. That was their problem. The person making the comment lived directly across from me and lived in a low-income-based housing. So I assume he or she probably seen me in my nice suits, going in my car, and they were taught that I was supposed to be stupid. They were taught I'm supposed to be a drug dealer. I'm supposed to be violent. So they wanted to see me be the stereotype that they thought I should be. To me, it was just a last attempt to bring me down because they knew I had the glow. Allies, we need you. In every story I shared, in every policy I mentioned, there was an opportunity for someone to step up and do the right thing. It would have been nice to have an ally to intervene when me and my wife were called racial slurs. If we are to realize Dr. King's dream, it is on all of us. But I believe the allies will play a major part in that success. Dr. King said life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? For many of you, standing up for Black lives will start at your own home with your closest friends and family.